again, it's Joey John Maguire. I'm in my local Wetherspoons, Lloyd's Bar, the Oyster Rooms. That's in Fulham Broadway, London, United Kingdom. Lovely summer's day outside, but I prefer to stay out of the sun. I've been to the podiatry service today in Parsons Green. Wonderful service, and I've only been twice. That was my second time. And today she gave me some cushioning for under my foot and cut my toenails, which desperately needed cutting. And it'll be a regular thing now. Who would have thought Joey John Maguire would have to have someone to put his socks on enough and cut his toenails. Anyway, I'm so glad that it's done, and it's NHS, I will have you know, and it's for free. Anyway, a lovely young lady did that for me, and seems it'll be a regular thing that I have to do, which I shall do willingly. Anyway, like I say, I'm in the Oyster Rooms. That's Fulham Broadway. It's a Wetherspoons pub. It's London, United Kingdom. And I'm about to recite my latest poem that I did in the early hours of this morning, as I always do. It's called I. They made me feel it was my own fault. After all, said the morons, I chose to join the army. What was I thinking of? I was the author of my own demise. I deserved to suffer, and why shouldn't I? And they would see to it that I did. They saw the horseshoe scar on my head, decided between them I was either a snitch, a pusher, a paedophile, or an armed robber. When I told them the truth, that I was a victim, someone had tried to murder me, they all fell silent. You could have heard a pin drop. And I thought for a moment I'd managed to quell their doubts, shame them into silence, that would be it for a while. Then I heard someone whisper out loud, no smoke without fire, and I felt my heart sink like a lump of lead as I left the room to cry. I spent 14 years in the village of shame, ducking and diving, bouncing between hell and purgatory, whilst all the while hoping for acceptance. Village folk are village folk, and they eat outsiders for breakfast, regularly reminding me that I was a resident. Never would I be a local. There were two routes out of the village, my choice, which way I chose to go. Can you imagine the rush of joy within when finally I could? The vicious downward spiral that was my life suddenly came to an abrupt halt. A signpost offered me a lifeline, an alternative existence, and I grabbed it with both hands, blindly put my faith in fate, all the while thinking anything would be better than treading time in the mire of the village of shame. I'm in London now, posh end, where I can be anonymous if I choose. I can walk away if someone puts me down, and every time years of persecution surface, I remind myself about a boy who went to grammar school, who became a paratrooper, travelled the world, survived a murderous attack, became homeless and lost everything, endured loneliness and solitude to become a poet. And for the first time in my life, I can now allow myself, without shame, to smile knowingly, because I know that boy was I, and I survived. A little poem about some of my life. Yeah, very sad time, but I still smile.